6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Butter B. Rocker.
You are now tuned in to Butter B Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, Butter B Rocker. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. But before I bring on my special guest, make sure you go and get your tickets today for BBR Indie Films that is happening on January 10th. We have an amazing lineup of short films and filmmakers that are going to be there. If you came to the first one, you know that it was completely sold out, and we had some deals that happened right there in the room. So make sure that you come on out. You can go to bbrmediagroup.com. Also, I just got word today. As you guys know, I executive wrote, produced, directed, starred in, and of course, I put my own music in, Finding the Perfect Guy. And it's been out for 3.5 months, and it is now on 17 streaming platforms. So you know your girl is beaming over here. Super excited, super excited. So before I bring on my special guest, I want to go to our commercial break, and then we will be back and we'll bring them on in.
Making perfect spice choices for healthy food is important to manage chronic diseases. We have focused on a specific line of spices that can really fit your diabetic lifestyle. Our spice flavors are a game changer. We have created unique blends of all-purpose seasonings that are salt-free, gluten-free, with no additives and preservatives, great for chronic conditions like high blood pressure, obesity, and heart disease. These spices contain antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal properties, and improve digestive function and metabolism. Choose diabetic cuisine spices for your family to feel more safe, confident, and support healthy aging.
All right. Now, if you would like to become a sponsor of the show Transparency Talks Podcast and have your videos played for your services or your products, you can go to info@O.Robinson PR Media Group. Also, we have a package for the actual radios. So, anywho, without further ado, he is an actor, a writer, a host, and a comedian. Can you guys please show some love for Michael James? How you doing,
Yes,
King?
yes. How you doing? How you doing, beloved?
I am doing wonderful. I want to tell you before we even get started that your name has been circulating around the industry for a good minute now, because as I was doing my film, it just so happened I had just finished casting, and someone was saying, "Man, you really need to meet Michael." And I was like, I don't know who that is. And they was like, "How you don't know no Michael James?" So I just
Wow.
want your flowers because the streets is talking in a great way about you.
Thank you. That'll be a first. I can remember starting out doing other stuff. It wasn't ringing in a good way, but God
God.
is good.
Got you. Okay, so I want to dive right on in. Can you tell everybody a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah. I was a rap artist. That's a past life. I've won major awards. I've done 50 states. I've toured with some of the greats. My first tour was with Plies. Shouts out to Plies, the old Slip and Slide, old manager of mine named B Stone. Then I created a record label called Advertise with my cousin Trill, who is Pooh Shiesty's father, Free Pooh Shiesty. And after that situation, I ended up getting a deal with Paul and Lil White with 3-6 Mafia. And you know, the rest is history. And now I'm here in Atlanta. I've been here for a year and a half, and I'm in films now. So I'm enjoying this life. I really am.
Okay. So where are you from?
Memphis, Tennessee, South Memphis with an F on it.
Okay, South Memphis,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay. And transitioning from music, because now I'm transitioned since COVID happened. We ain't had no choice but to figure out some additional hustles in life.
Right.
So now that you have transitioned from music into film, how different is it to you?
It's more etiquette. It's
Hmm.
elegant. It's on spot actually. It's quiet. It's more professional. It's less trouble. Um, just preparing yourself to be in another mind state is actually challenging. And from doing music where you have to be, I mean, I had to be involved in a lot of stuff, and it was just a headache. It was a lot of violence in my circle, in my environment, what caused me to be shot, temporary paralyzed, and I've seen jail. I almost faced 35 to life
Oh,
in
wow.
prison. So this side is a lot better. When you mentioned something about COVID, um, we all had a standstill, and that's when I actually wanted to get into comedy because I started writing comedy sketches. And from that point, I ended up going on stage, but I got into with some of the comedians in my city, and they gave me a lot of advice. They gave me some pointers. They gave me a great game, and I opened up for a lot of them. And the rest is history. And I moved down here, and I just love what I'm doing right now. It's a blessing, and I just can't keep saying that God is so good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, especially you said you almost had up to life. So wow, that's a
Yeah.
major transition. Okay, but I still want to go back a little bit. All right.
Okay.
So you come from a musical family. What inspired you to pursue a career in the entertainment world in the first place?
Man, I was a big fan of music. I had to find some way to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I suffer from abandonment issues, and moving with my grandmother and my grandfather in Black Haven. Um, I just wanted to find something to make that other side of my family embrace me. So, when you get introduced to a new side of your family, your little cousin, children mean as hell.
Right.
And so I created some things like watching Eddie Murphy Raw and just doing entertainment. And I rehearsed everything that Eddie Murphy said on Eddie Murphy Raw when they used to come over. So I used to tell the joke because they didn't have cable. Grandma had cable.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to say all the jokes, and they just brought me in. And my aunt, rest her soul, Aunt Joanne, was the first one to actually believe in my talent.
Mm-hmm.
And she entered me into a lot of talent shows. I was starting off doing Michael Jackson. I was doing MC Hammer with the big hammer pants. I can remember being 13, doing Genuine, you know what I'm saying, sliding, doing my pony contests and
So
stuff.
you
So
sang too.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I do. I can carry a tune. I ain't no singer, but I can carry a note. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you okay, so you're doing acting, writing,
Hmm.
hosting, comedy, a little bit of music on the side, maybe
Hmm.
ish. If it's a cool beat, I'm sure you'll still get on it. How do you manage balancing all of this?
Man, you don't figure it out. It just come by nature. If this is something that you actually want to do, I
Hmm.
tell a lot of people, don't just jump into something that you feel like you think you may be good at. I knew I was great. You know what I'm saying? I'm overconfident about me. I know who I am.
Right.
And whatever I put my hands on, I'm gonna kill it. My grandma told me, whatever you do in life, make sure you're the best at it. So whatever it was that I knew I was great at, I was gonna kill it. You know what I'm saying? I'm very humble at the end of the day. Just recently, I had my first scene with a major artist, actor actually, O'Shea Russell from All of Queen's Men. He plays Tommy, and
Mhm.
that was one of the first lead roles I had with someone who was actually in the game. And I was very humble on set, you know what I mean? But when they say action, all it out the window. It's it's
Right.
it's time to kill what I'm here to do.
Right.
And he saw that and he was like, bro, you are great. You're good. You know what I mean? So I balanced the thing out because I got kids. I got three girls and one boy.
Mm-hmm.
and I have to balance that out. Just being a father, I have to balance it out being the son to my mother. I have to balance it out being professional, and I got to find me time. So I put all that in one because what I'm doing is for my children, is for my moms, and it's for myself first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find the balance in just praying, meditating, and just keeping my head on the swivel, just doing right.
I like that. Okay. So, what advice would you give to aspiring actors, writers, and comedians and stuff?
The only advice I can give is keeping faith first and foremost. Know
Mm,
there's a higher power. I don't care what you call the higher power, as long as you call on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you believe in, just believe in something. I don't care about the relationship you have, just have a relationship.
mm-hmm.
And the best advice is just stay consistent. Don't give up on nothing. If you see it's not working out, you know, in the beginning, that doesn't mean it's not going to work out in the end. Just keep doing what you're doing. A lot of people told me I couldn't do what I'm doing now. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? A lot of people didn't believe what I was going to do. I left Memphis with an ambition, but I didn't think I was going to do film. I came here and I was engaged to a woman and moved down here, and she actually told me to get into um, the film industry. And I wanted to move here to be a total square because I didn't want to be involved in the street game no more. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do other stuff. So once I got into that, my first thing was doing background and feature roles. And some was good pay, some was no pay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I stayed consistent. I stayed doing what I'm doing because I had a belief that, once I get to the right place and someone see what I'm doing, they're gonna get me through that door. And right now I'm at the door. It's like it's cracked open. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
door is cracked. I'm looking inside and seeing what's going on, and I'm not stopping. So I tell anybody, man, just keep going. Just
Mm-hmm.
don't listen to nobody else but the higher power in yourself. Just believe. Just keep doing what the hell you're doing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's gonna work out eventually, as long as you stay consistent and keep challenging yourself. You know what I mean? Don't move backwards. Keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And I like what you said. So you got here, you started off doing backgrounds and start working your way up and
Hmm.
everything. Some people feel like backgrounds is beneath them. Oh, I'm gonna come here and I don't want to be no background. I mean, I don't think people should
Yeah,
should, should count out being a background because there's so many things that you can learn, especially when you're brand new in the industry. There's so
yeah,
many things that you can learn. So
it is.
when you started as a background, what were some of the things that you learned from that role?
Um, Patience,
Mm-hmm.
humbleness, because you're not treated like the permanent actors. You're just background. But the thing is, you got to learn to start small and grow large. Like everything else, we started small and grew large. The tree started small and grew large. Everything starts small and grow large. If you
Right.
have that belief that you can work it, just go ahead and do your job. The first set I was on was First Wives Club on BET, third season with Jill Scott, Ron Rico Lee, and
Mm-hmm.
Ron Rico Lee was uh, crazy story about Ron Rico Lee. When I did my first background work on First Wives Club, um, the first set I did was when he directed one of the episodes, and later on, I did a feature role on Immortal City Records on Tubi, and he was the star on Immortal City Records. And I came on set. He remembered me, just being. He was like Mike, because I used to always wear suits. I still wear suits. I love suits, and I wore suits. And he was always remembering this the guy with the suits. And then we just started talking. He remembered my name. And once I got on that set, he was like, "What they got you doing?" It's like when I'm doing the background role, I'm supposed to be a security. He was like, nah, we gotta figure something out, man. You still got them suits and stuff. I said, I got new suits. He was like, okay, I'm fit to figure something out. And I ended up getting the feature role as on the show as the manager of one of the main characters. And I'm all through that movie. And that was my first feature role. And from
Wow.
there, yeah, and from there, I ended up having my first speaking role for a short film. So just starting off as background, you never know what it's going to lead to. So you got to take that leap of faith. You got to believe. You know what I mean? Because man, look, I come from a background of trouble, and I took that opportunity. I took that chance, and can nobody tell me God ain't real? Nobody. I don't care who you are.
Hmm. That's an amazing story on how to get on how you came out. That's really
Yeah.
dope. Yeah, I like that. So, okay, who are some of your influences coming up as actors? And did you take any lessons? Okay, so you got on as a feature, but did you take any lessons after that, or you straight was learning everything on your own?
I went to a school in Memphis called Overton.
Okay.
It was a creative and performing arts school. And I took drama, but I only did that for extra credit. And I
Hmm.
wasn't really paying attention. But once I got on that stage, I was just being me. And from here on out, I've just been myself. So when I get these roles, these challenging roles, um, I channel people I know, if not myself. So no, I haven't taken any classes. This is just all God's given gift. This is a gift. I wasn't taught this. This is not a talent. This is a gift given to me. So
Wow.
I know what I got. You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm never taking classes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So the latest film that I saw on your page is BFF's Girls Trip. Can you tell us about
Yes.
your role and
Yes.
how you developed your character for it?
I'm so excited for that film. Shouts out to Dr. Miles Speller, Terry Miles, the whole team, the whole cast. It was a wonderful cast, and we're still like a family.
That's good.
We talk to each other on the group chat every day. Wake up talking about some good morning. So shouts out to their whole team, man. My character, I play a guy named Dre. I can't talk too much about it till it comes out, but
Mhm,
I can say Dr. Maya um, said something to me while doing that scene, while doing those performances
mhm.
in that movie, and it was a scene where she was like, "Whoever slept on you is gonna wake up upset."
Mm,
I believe, and she told me, she said, "I don't know if this is gonna be your breakout role or not, but it was a challenging role for me." And it's about five girls going on a trip just to get away, and the boyfriends come surprise them, and things kind of go left.
right,
People start spilling the beans. People start telling secrets. It
right,
being exposed, and it's suspense, it's thriller, it's drama. It's something serious, man. And I got to say again, shouts out to Dr. Miles Speller and Terry Miles for giving me that opportunity. She called me, was like, "I got a role for you. Are you comfortable with playing it?" I'm like, "Okay, let me see the script." And I saw the script. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? I took the leap of faith like I was talking about
yeah.
earlier. So yeah, I took that leap of faith and I did. And yeah, it's coming out. Movie will be the premiere coming out September 30th, and it's gonna be a great, great movie. And I can't wait for everybody to check it out. And it's actually sold out today. It's sold out, 300 seats.
Wonderful. It sounds like it's gonna be a
Yeah.
fantastic film. I'm mad that I didn't even know about the
Hey,
audition. This sounds like it's going to be really, really good. So that's great.
yes, yes. The first opportunity she gave me is for a movie called Tit for Tat, and that's coming out
Oh,
too. She done like damn near five to six films in 1 year.
oh,
Her
nice.
and
It sounds
Terry, yeah, her and
like
Terry Miles have done five to
my
six
show.
films.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
so yeah, so you got to get them on here to do an
Yeah.
interview with them because they're very inspiring. There's an incredible duo, no lie.
I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. Okay. So do
and
you
we're being hosted by Benzino. Can you believe that Benzino is coming out to host?
nice.
Because it's a two movie premiere. They're premiering two films. A movie called I Want Her and
Mhm.
BFF Girls Trip. So I've never been to a two movie premiere.
I don't think I've
In
been to
one night.
a premiere
Yeah,
either.
that's
So
history in the making. That's
yeah,
Black history. That's American history right there.
yeah. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer dramatic roles or comedic roles?
I prefer roles that make sense.
Okay,
I
that's
prefer
fair.
roles that make sense. I started off my first um speaking lead was supporting role was a movie called Wrong Place, Wrong Time. My guy Lane directed it, and a guy named Brandon, the director. Shouts out to Brandon.
Mhm.
Um, chose me for the part after I auditioned, and it's a comedy. It's a comedic role, and it's about this old guy who owns a building, and he kind of puts you in the mind of a Bernie Mac type. You know what I mean? But I put my own flavor to it, so it's funny as hell. But yeah, I started off with the comedy thing, but once I got into the drama and I did 2 plays here written by James Taylor. The last play I did was a uncle who was a pedophile, and that was very challenging.
I
So,
bet.
but people was like, watching the play, and they was hating. First, they was loving the uncle because I made him, I brought him in, and then they hated the uncle once the story got, once they got into the story,
Mhm.
and people was like, "Oh my God, I just hated your character." I was like, "Well, I did a damn good job there."
Yep.
You know what
That's
I mean? Because people still hate Danny Glover right now for
yeah.
playing Mister for Color Purple. You know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I write films and I write plays as well. And that's very true. If they hate the character, that means
yeah,
you did an amazing
you
job.
embodied it. Yeah, you bodied that thing.
Yeah.
And not to cut you off, but I just also did a film. My girl Naja, she just killed the writing on this one. It's a short film. It's called The Client. Be ready for that. And that actually got me a situation with an agent. So I mean, God got his hands on me right now. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me nothing about
Right.
the higher
Right.
power.
So
Yeah.
The Client is a short film. Tell me about The
Mhm.
Client and what drew you to that story.
Just the character. She told me about one film, and then she switched and said, "I think you'll do good with this one."
Hmm.
And this guy named Frank and Alan, they were friends growing up, and Alan took the righteous way. He became a lawyer, and Frank just stayed in the streets, and he needed Alan to help him out in the situation. And then there's a double cross. The
Hmm.
plot thickens on this one, so it's a great film.
It
And
sounds
that role, yeah, I got beat up and everything in this one, so I had to do all of the things. I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna kick my ass, but I ended up getting my ass kicked. So, yeah,
was it hard to play?
yeah. I mean, it was like I said, whatever I touch, I'm gonna kill it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, BBR Indie Films, my company, I did my premiere of my first feature film at Studio Movie Grill, right?
okay.
And it was sold out. I mean, I bought the biggest night, the weekend, and
Mm,
it sold out in 2 weeks, and I bought the biggest room, right? So
mm,
now I have opened that up to other filmmakers to premiere their
mm.
films at on the big screen. So
Okay.
definitely let your peoples know that has The Client, which since it is a short film, I am premiering short films every other month at Studio Movie Grill, and they can get in contact with me to get submitted. And, we look at. I have a whole team that looks at them, but we take so many. We can only take so many each time to premiere, but we let the submissions are free and everything because I'm just trying to show the same love of having that feeling of having your film on the big screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we open that up to a lot of filmmakers and everything. So definitely make sure.
Okay. I got a homegirl named Monroe Pfeiffer, Tyra Sharif, and she actually gave me my first lead role in the series.
Oh,
It's
nice.
called Monroe for Real, and
Hmm.
she's when I say the girl is creative, she's very creative. The lawn man just came, and I think y'all.
You sound like you're doing
Yeah.
some amazing things for sure.
Yes. Yes.
We're having a little technical difficulty. All of a sudden, the sound is kind of trying to show out a little
So,
bit.
yeah, we
So
just had the lawn man over here.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
what when
no,
you
everything's working out fine though, and shouts out to all the directors I worked with so far, and I can't wait to work with more.
good, good. So when you play these roles, what are your hopes that the audience will take away from them?
A story that people can relate to, someone that they know, someone they might be themselves. Just something that's authentic, real, true, and to take someone else's story and then make it come to life is an amazing thing to me. It's incredible. And I've had the pleasure and honor to work with a lot of people, and these stories that have been on my desk and I've been able to film have been amazing to me. I just did this. My last film I just filmed of 2023 was a series called Tears of a Hustler, Slick White production. And
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Slick White. Slick White has a few films on Tubi right now. And that guy is killing it. And this is a series, actually,
Mm-hmm.
Tears of a Hustler. And at the end of it, when I was wrapped, because it was an 8 to 9 day shoot, when I rapped, the brother I damn near cried, but I had to hold back the tears. There was too many men in the room. But um, he said, "Bruh, I didn't think someone would be able to make this character come to life the way you did," and
Mm-hmm.
that was incredible because I add so much of my own to it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I did a small improv of lines, but they was great. You know what I mean? So
That's
I just
good.
hope people take what I do and learn from a lot of the things I do as well. Because the roles I like is, things that are just lessons, things you can relate to and learn from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think is the secret to captivating an audience and keeping them in? Because you do stage plays and you also do screen.
You have to keep their attention the first 30 seconds. If you catch them in the first 30 seconds, you got 30 more seconds to go to keep it. Once you
Mm-hmm.
do that, you may have them locked in. You want to be authentic as possible, but you want to know your crowd. Know your crowd, man. You know what I mean? If you're in a room full of bougie people, be, just be yourself, but kind of break the ice a little bit by
Mm-hmm.
being, a little dirty because they're going to open up to like, oh God, okay, now I got your attention. Because you got to understand, people have a short attention span these days. So you
Yeah.
just can't tap someone on the shoulder anymore and say, hey, I'm trying to tell you something. You got to slap
Mm-hmm.
somebody across the back of their head.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're gonna turn around like, what the hell you slamming me on the back of my head? But okay, I got your attention. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So it's the
Right.
same thing with play, the same thing with filming. So you just gotta capture their attention and just be authentic as possible and just bring it. Just go to a place you've never been before. Just
Yeah.
challenge yourself.
Yeah. So when you say writer, you're a writer. Are you writing films? You writing what?
I wasn't going. Okay, so I have a series I'm writing, a movie I'm
Nice.
writing. Um, Before I got down here, I was working on a late night comedy show. My guy Rock Diesel, shouts out to Rock Diesel, was filming it for me, and it was a late night comedy show where I'd interview people, interview a lot of comedians,
Mm-hmm.
interview a rap star that comes on and then perform. But in between, it was comedy sketches, and I wrote
Mm-hmm.
all the comedy sketches, and the comedy sketches was actually joke. I didn't perform on stage, so I wrote them out, and it's one on my YouTube right now. It's called 5 Minutes of Black, and you can check that out right now. But yeah, so my goal is to write and direct. To be honest,
Okay. Okay. Well, it's definitely possible. I dove right in. I had wrote a play and of course I write music and stuff like that. But when COVID happened, it was like, okay, you're gonna have to shift and you're gonna have to figure it out really quick. And
COVID
I
was
dove.
for a reason. COVID
It was.
for a reason, especially for our culture, for Black people. It was a
Yeah.
reset to sit
Yeah. It was.
down, get that little PPP, and figure out what you're gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Even if you got it, you know what I'm saying, on in
Yeah.
another way. Just find out
Right.
what to do. You know what I'm saying? Find an investment and invest in yourself. So that was a
Mhm.
reset for everybody. And I hope people
Yeah.
took something from that.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell everybody what's next for you and how everybody can find you?
My first film I'll be doing for 2024 is with Barrington. My man Barrington, who's doing
I
the
know Barrington.
yes. And it's called Mr. Watson. And I
Mm-hmm.
can't wait for people to check that out. That'll be the first film I film for 2024. And everybody can just find me on social media, Michael James _presents. And the rest is history, man. Just keep me in your prayers and your thoughts. Uh, Rest in peace to a lot of the brothers I knew and sisters I knew back in my hometown that passed away recently. And just keep God first. Keep doing what you're doing. And shouts out to you for having me on your platform. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? This is the first interview. Well, it's the last interview of 2023. So I want to say thank you for real, and just keep doing what you're doing, beloved. Keep
Thank
going,
you.
keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? Giving you your flowers now. Even this is my first time meeting you. You didn't have to have me on here, so I want to thank you for that, man. God is shining on you. Just keep doing what you're doing. What's your sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Ooh, all right. So yeah, just keep going. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. My ex-fiance was a Taurus, so yeah, you know.
Well, that was just one bad experience. Every Taurus
Yeah,
ain't the
yeah,
same. It's just like every
yeah.
Sagittarius.
Everybody, yeah. This is
Everybody's
true.
different. Right. Right.
This is true.
So with that being said, I would like to thank you so much for being a part of Transparency Talks podcast. I
Thank you.
thoroughly enjoyed this conversation and learned a lot from you. And I'm sure that
Thank
there's some takeaways that everybody got and everything. So thank you so much. I already told you, the deal on when you're going to be getting all of the links for London and Italy and all of those stations and
I
everything.
can't wait.
Yeah. I'll be sending it to you on Sunday. You're gonna be live on Monday in Italy and in London and on iHeartRadio and all my other channels. So we're gonna get it popping.
No,
Thank you so much for being a part of Transparency Talks podcast. And
thank
with
you.
that, everybody, we are out of here.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Peace and blessings.